Great. It's that time. Lifestyle segment. The lovely Tamima and the lovely guest.
Yes, so joining me in studio today, I have with me Loice Wanjiku and Maxi Eric Gitau from LVCT. Now, without a doubt, HIV/AIDS is a concept that we are mostly familiar with, yet the alarm is being sounded over the increase in infections, especially amongst the youth. So today I have with me in studio a woman who I hope will inspire you to change, positive behavior change amongst the youth. And also Eric will be in studio to let us know what we can do and how you can take control in your own life. So, Loice, welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
Now, Loice, first of all, I just want to commend you for taking the time to come to studio and share your story with us. Eric, being a peer counselor, I think you'll be very instrumental for a lot of guys to understand just how powerful this young lady's story is in our discussion today.
Looking forward.
Yes, so Loice, tell us a bit about yourself.
Let me correct you, Tamima. It's Lucy.
Lucy.
Yes, Lucy Wanjiku. 22 years old. At the moment, I'm at UT at Nope. And I can say that I love life. I'm the firstborn in a family of 3. And growing up, I can say I didn't get to hear words like, I love you or you're beautiful. And I only got this when I was in Form 3. And it was from a man whom I thought loved me so much. So we started hooking up and we started dating. At that time I was in Form 3 in 2009. It was love at first sight, so I can say. And he told me all these beautiful words that I'd never had. He told me I was beautiful, he told me that he loved me, and it made me feel secure with him.
Form 3, you were how old then?
I was 18.
Okay.
So we dated, we were friends first, and then along the way, since we had like the same career goals, I wanted to become a nun and he wanted to become a priest.
Wow.
Yes, so I felt he understood everything I was going through, and it was wonderful to become his friend. So after half a year, it was no longer friendship. We were having unprotected sex.
Okay.
And in 2010 now, we weren't using any protection or anything, and we were having sex.
So you were 18?
Yes.
And he was how old?
He was 20.
20 years old.
Yes,
okay.
he was 20 years old. So after some time, in 2010, it was the year that I was doing my Form 4 also. I entered a beauty pageant called Miss Tamima in Dandora and won. That was in August. And in October, I won Miss Coach 2010. So this was all so beautiful. I mean, life was looking up for me. Miss Tamima was going to give me a scholarship, and Miss Coach was going to give me a job.
Okay.
So nothing but best. Everyone had high hopes from me.
So there you are, young, in love.
Yes, and
the
everything
queen
is
of the
everything,
hood, so to speak.
Yes, everything is falling into place, and I didn't expect anything would go wrong. But December 1st, I started getting sickly, and before I knew it, I was pregnant. Yes, everyone was so disappointed, especially my parents and me most of all, because I had seen life looking up. I didn't feel the way I used to feel. My self-esteem had gone up, but here again I was pregnant. So it all fell down.
So you're 18, pregnant?
Yes.
Yes, in a relationship with a man. Did he have a job then?
No, he didn't.
Okay.
So he was even still living with his brother.
Okay.
So I was left helpless.
Okay.
But I never had the thought of having an abortion.
Okay.
I knew that I wanted to have my kid regardless of the situation.
Okay.
A few months down the line, like 2 months, we moved in together with him with the little he had gotten from God knows where. So when we started living together, life wasn't as easy. We were going hungry, and yet I was pregnant. I remember at times we didn't have rent, so got to a point that we were almost chased out of the house. But thank God, I have a wonderful mom. She has come through for me in amazing ways. Because when I gave birth to my son on June 29th, 2011.
You were still 18, 19 then?
No, I was almost 19,
okay.
A month to 19. And I remember holding my son and the nurse asking, do you have a blanket?
Okay.
And I was like, I don't even have a blanket to wrap him with. Okay. That was the time I felt hopeless most, because here was a young child who was very innocent, who didn't know what was going on, and yet I could not provide for him. My mom again came through for me. She bought my baby's clothes and she paid the hospital bill and made sure that I was living comfortably. So I didn't go back to the house we were living in. She took me somewhere else. And
where was your boyfriend at this time?
He was just there.
Okay.
I don't know what he was thinking because he wasn't providing in any way, and he kept saying he's looking for a job.
Okay.
So I don't know why he was looking, he never found one.
Okay.
So later on, my mom got to a point, she's a housewife, so she got to a point where she could no longer support us.
Okay.
And from there, I had to look for a friend, and I looked for a friend and started living with her family. Thank God for her family, because they took us in like the mother took me in like I was her daughter and took my son like her grandson. So there I was comfortable and at home. And although life wasn't that easy, I had to like fetch water for construction sites to feed us.
Wow.
And I had to wash clothes for other people for us to get food on the table. I still pressed on because I knew all this would come to an end. Yes, and now, the next year, this was December, my son was 5 months. He had started getting sickly. He used to cough, and every time we went to the hospital, I was told it's an allergic reaction. He would get better, but he would get better, and then the coughing would come back even worse than the last time. So I decided that I'll go for further checkup, and I took him to Mbagathi. When this was in January, like the end of January 2012. I took him to Mbagathi and he was diagnosed with pneumonia. So I was given like a prescription of 3,000, and I remember not having even money to cater for that, for the drugs. But in a way, God came through again for me, and I found the money and we bought the drugs. But unfortunately, he passed on February 13th, same year. This was after going for a cervical screening test, an open-air day where youths were encouraged to go and get tested for cervical cancer. And I didn't know that after you got through the testing, you needed to do a HIV test also.
Okay.
So when I went to have the HIV test, in the back of my mind, I knew I had only slept with one man.
Yes.
As in, I was faithful and I hadn't messed up anywhere. So I could not expect any less than being negative. But I remember after the counselor took me through the counseling session and the test kit was already there, and it was 2 lines. I remember telling him that, no, this must be a mistake. I could not be any chance be positive.
How old were you then?
Now I was 19.
Okay.
We redid the test again and still came out positive. So what was bothering me was not me. I was thinking that my son had gone through all that, being sickly because of me. And mind you, now I hadn't passed on yet. It was January 20th. And there's no way that I could help him because I felt like it was already too late. And yeah, my thoughts were cleared up when he passed on.
Maxi, a fact, right? There's definitely a rise in new HIV infections amongst the youth and STIs, right? And Lucy's story is a double tragedy because there she is. She's young. She's met a guy for the first time, right? Her first love, so to speak. She gets pregnant, and on top of that, she gets HIV/AIDS. So, as a counselor, and where you're sitting, what is the reality on the ground?
It's interesting. First of all, I really empathize with the story that I've known Lucy for a while, and I've not gotten a chance yet to listen to that story.
Okay.
But it's a reflection. When you reflect about it, you actually see, as you're saying, the double tragedy.
Yes.
But what is more interesting is that the rate of infection amongst young women is actually 4 times higher.
Wow.
Than that of men,
Okay.
for various reasons,
Okay.
for various biological reasons.
Okay.
Being an open system,
Okay.
it's also social economic reasons, poverty levels, exposure to earlier sex debut than men. All these are factors that actually lead to higher rates of HIV infection, new time infection amongst younger women, as I said, 4 times higher. And that's alarming.
Okay.
So a lot of the efforts and a lot of the work that should actually be happening on the ground should be targeting girls and young women to revert the HIV trend, to capture it at that level.
Okay.
And because it isn't just a singular factor, it's HIV, unintended pregnancies, a whole range of STIs. Okay. I mean, she's mentioned her story actually encapsulates everything, including cervical cancer.
And for me, she's such an inspiration because of the fact that she can come out on national TV and share her story and let guys know that I'm HIV positive. And I'm sure for a lot of guys who are watching from home, they're very shocked because she's a lovely young woman. And I think for a lot of youth who are also watching, there's this misconception that HIV is for an older generation. They cannot be touched by it, right? So I think for them, it's a reality check to tune into the KTN this morning on the Morning Express and to see Lucy, who's just shared her story. So for you, from where you're sitting, right, are the youth coming out to get tested?
Again, I'll work with her story. The fact that she hadn't even thought about going to test, it's because she knew that she was faithful to just one partner. One partner whom she did not know his sexual history before, because either sexual history or even his HIV status before. So a lot of young people will engage in, will debut in sex and then have concurrent sexual experiences without thinking that testing is actually important. So young people are not coming out as much as it is desired for them to test, but there are opportunities for that to happen because there are VCT centers across the country. If you walk anywhere where there is life, you will actually see a VCT center. You'll see an LVCT or any other organization having a VCT center there. And for the story like hers, which is very, very important, we run a hotline on 1190, a card that she's holding. It's called the 1-to-1 Youth Hotline, which is basically like East Africa's largest sexuality, HIV and reproductive health hotline in the country that targets young people between the ages of 10 and 25. And a lot of cases, people call with fear to go testing. But once they call, and it's free to call from any Safaricom number, 1190 is the number that any young person going through anything, figuring out whether they should get tested, figuring out now that they're pregnant, what they should do, falling in love and thinking it's probably too early. It's basically a telecounseling service that is available for all. And right there, because there are some tried, tested and proven counselors, they're actually able to take a lady like Lucy through the journey and almost convince her, if not encourage her, to go get tested. And then in the case where it is many things, it is HIV, it is
pregnancy.
STI, it is pregnancy. Also go through what to do. How to procure a proper how to take a pregnancy through to term properly and other things of that
Max,
nature.
you represent LVCT, which is a 1-to-1 youth hotline. You had it free. Call Safaricom. That is, you can call for free or SMS 1190. But right now, I'm going to hand over to Sophia.
All right, thank you, lovely. That was a great discussion, eye-opening, and salute you for your bravery and your courage.
Thank you.